Story of the day right now. On the screen behind me, 41 workers still remain trapped. 9 days they've spent in a tunnel in Uttarkashi. You'll remember on Diwali, so more than a week ago, in the morning at about 5:30 a.m., you had 41 workers who were in this tunnel. They were working on the construction of the tunnel. That's when, due to a landslide, the tunnel collapsed. Now, after that collapse took place, 41 workers, as we're telling you, got trapped within that tunnel. They were completing a 12-hour shift when they weren't able to leave. Now, the rescue efforts have been continuing, but there have been multiple failed attempts. The key reason for these failed attempts is the fact that the debris within the tunnel keeps falling. Essentially, the more they dig, the more debris falls, and engineers working on the ground have not been able to find a way around that issue. They also keep coming upon boulders and other hard substances trapped within the debris. Now, an army source has told CNN News 18 that a team of army personnel visited the site for recce earlier today. You have had much coordination take place between the centre and the state. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari assuring those involved on the ground that operations will continue. The Prime Minister also ringing up the Uttarakhand Chief Minister. The big question, however, obviously still remains. It's been 9 days and yet there has been no movement. Workers on the ground, remember, remain anxious. In the first few days, we saw protests taking place, demanding for safer working conditions for those who work on the ground. Now, as we speak, we're learning a five-point plan has been put together. We're going to walk you right now to our reporter, Anshul. Anshul has been with us on the ground since this incident first took place. Let's go over to him to understand more. Anshul, thank you for joining us this morning. You're, of course, let me just tell our audiences, joining us from right outside the tunnel. You've been tracking this effort over the last week. Anshul, if we could start by asking you, what is the 5-point plan? We know that there's a hope that they're actually going to be drilling from 3 different directions. Can you just tell our audiences, though, Anshul, the big question remains, the other attempts were not successful. What gives engineers hope on the ground that this attempt may be? What are they doing differently?
So yes, the engineers and the rescuers out here are hoping against hope at this point in time. The easiest way still to get through the people who are stuck inside is still through the American auger machine, which has not worked for the last 48 hours now. And in fact, structuring is being done inside the tunnel to make sure that when the auger machine again works, there is no untoward situation that arises, because the safety of workers inside the tunnel is important, but the same of the safety of the rescuers is also important, and hence that structuring inside the tunnel is being done right now. Currently, at the place at which I am standing is right above the place where these workers are trapped, approximately 90 meters above the location. Now, this location has been handpicked after surveys that has been done over here. From here, the vertical drilling will be done. If I could show you in the visuals over here, this entire terrain is the terrain in which this entire challenging operation has to go on, and hence Border Road Organizations, a wing of the army, has also been roped in to build a road, a temporary road over here through which heavy machineries could reach over here. Now, what is the plan? What is the plan that needs to be done? You can see that these flags that have been put in place, this is the exact location where the machine would be put up, and from here the drilling process of 90 meters would start. Now, 2 pipes would be inserted from here. The first one is the lifeline pipe. This pipe will be able to give the workers who are stuck inside some solid food, which they have got no access to over the last 9 days and counting now. Now, the second pipe that will go in, that will be the rescue pipe. But yes, this is going to be a very, very challenging operation, because 90 meters of solid mountain has to be dug through for the pipes to reach down, and once it reaches down, post that, there needs to be cutting that needs to be done of the metal plates that are right above the tunnel as well. So this is a very, very long process, whereas the other plans, if you talk about, two exit routes are being made from the left and right side of the tunnels as well, but work on that has not started at this point in time. Whereas the fifth plan, if you talk about, is from the other side of the tunnel, from where the tunnel opens. It at least needs to dug through 400 meters of debris before they reach the workers out here and take them out, which could take approximately 2 months of time. So the easiest plan that the people have right now, the rescuers have right now, is to drill through the American auger machine. The American auger machine will start working from today evening, is what sources have told us at this point in time, if everything goes according to the plan that they have charted out. But we have seen that over the last 9 days, the planning is something that has definitely gone according to them, and that is the reason why there are difficulties that are being faced by the rescuers to even reach anywhere close to these people. Now, the biggest update of this morning has been that the lifeline pipe that was being drilled through from the initial entry from the Silkyara end of the tunnel, that has reached approximately 39 meters inside the debris. In the next 21 meters, that lifeline pipe would reach finally where these workers are. And post that, we can expect that finally the workers would get access to for the first time to solid food, and then a micro drone would be sent inside, which has been called in from the army as well. That micro drone would go in, which would mean that would be the first time there would be any visual contact with the workers who are stuck inside. And thirdly, an optical fiber cable would be laid inside that lifeline pipe, which would again mean that the first time strong communication would be set up with people who are stuck inside and the rescuers who are outside. So this is the plan of action that has been put in forth. But why the big question is why this 5-point plan has been made. This 5-point plan has basically been made to make sure that even if work stops on one plan, the work continues from other sides as well, so that they could reach the workers at the earliest. The main focus of the rescue team at this point in time is to provide them with solid food, and work on that is happening. Once that lifeline pipe is drilled through, then the rescuers could actually breathe a sigh of relief, because the time for the people to survive who are surviving inside would increase drastically, because they would be getting solid food, water, electricity, everything will be present inside. It will be more or less like a lockdown of sorts inside the tunnel as well. So yes, then the rescuers can actually breathe a sigh of relief, and then they could work in making sure that all these people are taken out at the earliest. But still, the easiest route and the fastest route still remains to be the drilling that is being done through the debris that is inside the tunnel. Structuring has been done. New American auger machine has been installed inside the tunnel, and within the next few hours, the tunneling process will again start. Remember, 22 meters of tunnel has already been dug through. Approximately 40 meters more needs to be dug through. And if everything goes according to the plan, then the American auger machine would be the first to reach inside within the next 24 to 36 hours, is what the rescuers believe and are confident about at this point in time.
Okay.
But yes, the fight is yet again with nature, and beating nature in something like this is definitely becoming a Herculean task for each and every person who is working round the clock to make sure that these people who are stuck inside the tunnels for the last 9 days now, they are taken out at the earliest, and they are sent back to their homes with utmost safety and precaution.
Okay, Anshul, just stay with us, please. I just want to walk our audiences through some quick numbers, then we'll come back to you in a second. Okay, let's talk a little bit more right now about these workers. Number one, they've been trapped 260 meters inside this tunnel that we're talking about. 41 workers, remember, remain in this tunnel. It collapsed due to a landslide. But why was that landslide triggered? Environmentalists say that the stone, the rock in this entire area is very soft. Construction should have been taking place here with many more precautions. But the cause, there's still a big question mark on the cause. Let's move on. Now, the debris first covered just 60 meters. Debris has been the big problem here. As you dig more debris falls, and what the solution should be here, that's the big question still. Now, 40 meters have been cleared so far. The drilling speed is very, very slow, because remember, each time the auger machine hits something hard, like for example boulder rocks earlier, you have the machine stop working. That's happened several times. This is the American auger machine. That's why the drilling speed at 5 meters per hour. And as we told you already, the machine being used right now is an American auger. The earlier drilling machine was gotten from Dehradun. This one's been gotten from Delhi. Let's go back to my colleague Anshul, who's with us right now still. Anshul, if we could now come to you with a second question. These workers have been trapped here for more than a week, and you said that communication has remained constant so far. Now, 9 days in a dark area, no access to natural light of any kind. We know that they do have electricity in there, but there's no access to natural light. There are 41 men trapped within there. What has the communication with them been? Can you tell us, number one? And number two, has the government of Uttarakhand announced any kind of compensation for the kind of psychological damage, the kind of distress caused to each of their families so far?
So yes, no compensation has been announced of any sort to any of the person who stuck inside. In fact, what we have been told that a few of the relatives have given their accounts number and IFSC code to the people who had come from their states. For example, people who had come from Jharkhand. Remember, 15 workers are from Jharkhand who are stuck there, and the Jharkhand government has sent its officers out here on the ground. And those officers have actually taken IFSC codes and account numbers of the people who are stuck inside. So there is some sort of discussion that is happening to provide them with some sort of compensation. But nothing from the Uttarakhand government, nothing from the central government has been announced at this point in time. Also, if you talk about the communication, the main reason for communication is that their morale does not get loose, because at any point in time they should not feel that work is not being done to rescue them and people have left them to die inside. That is the reason why constant communication is being made. But the communication through the channel through which this communication is happening is actually very temporary, because remember, the air pipe, the plastic air pipe through which food is being sent, communication is happening through that pipe itself. So if at all, due to the debris, if that pipe gets damaged, then the entire communication network would come to an halt, and hence we are seeing this alternate communication network that is being laid by the rescuers at this point in time. As I already mentioned, the 6-inch lifeline pipe that is being drilled through, that is going to be a big success for all the rescue team, the entire rescue team at this point in time. Remember, this process is not happening for the first time. In fact, a few days ago as well, the same thing was happening. But yes, that pipe broke down as it got close to a boulder and metal things, and hence that pipe was not able to be drilled through inside the tunnel as well. Now this second try that is happening, the rescuers are very hopeful at this point that they will actually be able to get success this time around, and finally the workers will get access to solid food and constant communication, because optical cable fire would be laid through that pipe, which would mean that the communication would then become constant and stable. The main focus is to make sure that there is constant communication happening, because their morale should not go down, and that is the reason why not only the rescuers who are at the point are communicating with them, but also along with that, the people from their states, the officers who have been deployed from different states, they are also coming and talking to those people. The family members who are present over here, they are also speaking to those people, making sure that their morale remains high. They do not feel underconfident. They do not feel that they have been left to die and no work is happening. Absolutely, because if at all even one person panics inside that tunnel, the situation could go out of hand very quickly, and that is something that the rescuers cannot afford at this point in time, and hence communicating with them constantly, giving them food, water, electricity, and whatever they ask for, that could be sent in through that air pipe, that is being given to them at this point in time. But once this lifeline pipe is set up, then we can expect the situation to improve inside. But yes, you can imagine that 9 people have been stuck inside. They have got no access to any direct sunlight, surviving on just dry food. You can imagine their health condition, be it the physical health condition or the mental health condition, and it is their bravery that they have been stuck inside this tunnel for the last 9 days, and they have continued to keep their morale up. Definitely credit needs to be given to all the workers who are stuck inside, because they are putting up a very brave face at this point in time.
Can you also tell us, Anshul, we've talked right now of two different challenges that are happening right now. Number one, there is the building, as we're already telling our audiences, of some kind of pipeline through which you're going to actually rescue the workers. This is the tunnel that continues to be built on one side through Silkyara, that Gadkari has said is still the highest chance of them being rescued successfully. That's challenge one. And challenge two, as you said, is a different pipeline being established. That pipeline will be used for sending down more food and, as you said, getting visuals and communication with these workers. Can we just talk a little bit separately about both of those challenges and tell our audiences what are the chances of success of each?
So yeah, the chances of success still remain 50-50, because no one is actually confident that if this entire operation will be successful. All they are dependent is on constant hard work and making sure that this entire operation that is being conducted, that goes according to the plan that they have charted out at this point in time. Yes, experts have been roped in, but yes, it's all a plan at this point in time. Nothing is confirmed. But yes, if you see, it is a 6-inch in diameter pipe that is being drilled through that is called the lifeline pipe. Now the 6-inch pipe that is being drilled through, it is going to be easier for them because it could actually sneak through the sides of the debris and reach inside where the people are stuck. But the bigger challenge is to drill through the 900 diameter pipe through which these rescuers would be taken out once this entire drilling process ends, because you need a larger surface area to actually drill this pipe through the debris. And in the larger surface area, the challenges are more because there could be big stones, big rocks, pieces of metals, machinery that was being used inside the tunnel. All this comes in that 800 millimeter diameter area. So yes, that is the bigger challenge at this point in time. But yes, that is the quickest way that the rescuers feel that they could reach there, and hence operations are ongoing inside the tunnel continuously 24/7 to make sure that the debris is initially solidified, because the debris is in form of talcum powder. Now any drilling machine that has been made across the world is not made to drill through soft surfaces. In fact, it is made to drill through hard surfaces, and hence this debris that is inside the tunnel is made up of small stones and is in the form of talcum powder. So you can imagine that there are small pieces, and hence drilling through it is getting very, very difficult. And in that terrain also there are big rocks, big boulders that are present inside, and along with that pieces of metal that has come down from the tunnel as well. So it is a very, very challenging task to initially press the debris through, compress it to make it solid, and post that start this drilling operation through which this entire 800 pipe could eventually go inside, and then a trolley could be set up through which each and every person could actually be dragged out from inside the tunnels.
Anshul, please stay with us. We're going to keep checking in with my colleague. Anshul is going to continue to bring us ground reports. The situation here, as my colleague just said, still highly, highly unpredictable. Now, for now, we're going to walk you through different reactions. We told you earlier that Union Minister Nitin Gadkari had arrived at the spot. You've also had the Chief Minister respond multiple times, many questioning the government, the administration, on the fact that they've been there for more than 9 days. Take a look.
इस आपत्ति का मुकाबला हम सब लोग सब प्रकार के प्रयासों से कर रहे हैं। जो अंदर में जो लोग बैठे हुए हैं, जो अटके हुए हैं, उनके प्रति भारत सरकार को, उत्तराखंड की सरकार को और देश की जनता को उनकी सबकी बहुत चिंता है, और हमारी सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है कि किसी भी प्रकार से उनकी जान बचाए, उनको बाहर निकाले। भारत सरकार की अलग अलग एजेंसीज हैं जिनको जिम्मेदारी दी गई है, टीमों से भी विशेष रूप से यहाँ ध्यान दिया जा रहा है।
आप लोगों को सही समय पर सही सूचना मिलेगी, और इसमें जितने विशेषज्ञ हैं, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी लगातार इसकी चिंता कर रहे हैं। माननीय मंत्री जी आपके सामने अभी आए हैं यहाँ पर, और लगातार 2 घंटे से पूरी मॉनिटरिंग हुई है और सारे विशेषज्ञ काम कर रहे हैं। ये हम सब लोगों के लिए चिंता है कि ये आपदा है, और आपदा देखिए किसी एक कारण उसका नहीं होता है, और उसमें सभी लोगों को, आप लोगों को भी, सब लोगों को सहयोग करना है। आप लोग लगातार कर भी रहे हैं। मैं आप लोगों की प्रशंसा भी करना चाहता हूं कि अधिकांश लोगों ने अभी तक किसी प्रकार का वो नहीं किया है। अब यही है स्थिति कि जैसा आपने बताया कि अभी हमारा एक तो अंदर जो लोग हैं उनका भी मनोबल बना रहे, उनके परिजन उनसे बात कर रहे हैं, और जो बाहर हैं उनकी भी हमें चिंता करनी है, वो सब चीज़ें कर रहे हैं।
Okay, this is obviously a story we're going to continue to cover. It will remain our top